From NBC 10, this is a severe weather alert.
Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Alex Moore here with Fox 14 News. We are tracking the potential tornado warning for Union and Columbia County in southern Arkansas. This warning is going to go until 8:30 p.m. tonight. You can see right here it is heading directly southeast along 82. There is also a severe thunderstorm warning that clips just the western edge of El Dorado. And again, this is going to go until 8:30. So if you're anywhere in the red flashing box, I'll actually zoom in here for you just a bit. If you are in along the 82 road right here, make sure that you are not pulling over underneath an overpass. If you know anyone driving, heading home from Father's Day activities, make sure that they're staying safe. It is moving at approximately 25 miles per hour, so it's moving rather quickly, and eventually this will cross 82. This is northeast of Emerson, but west of El Dorado, and again, we are tracking a tornado warning. It's not a confirmed tornado, it is a tornado warning, and we're going to look at velocity just to find the almost exact couplet that we're tracking at this moment. And there it is. It is actually just next to Marysville right now. It is still west of Cairo, and it is crossing Magnolia Highway at this moment. It's crossing Columbia Road 42. So if any of those roads sound familiar, make sure that you're getting into your safe place immediately, and I'll repeat what that is. Your safe place is the interior room of any building that you reside in without any windows. It is very important that you get into the most interior room, again, without any windows. If you are on Columbia Road 42, Barney Road, Magnolia Highway, and Marysville, you need to be getting into your safe place immediately. Now, if you're in Cairo, just a little bit southeast of that, you are still in the red flashing box. You also need to be getting into your safe place, and this again goes until 8:30. So if you're even further south than that, in Schuler Road and Troll, you need to be getting into your safe place as well. You have a good 30 minutes or so until this warning expires. So this is a lot of lead time for you to be getting into your safe place. It's Father's Day weekend, it's Father's Day Sunday. If you have anybody that you know that has just left or is going somewhere to celebrate, give them a call. Make sure that they are not driving through this. They need to be in their safe place or off somewhere off the road, specifically not under an overpass or a bridge. Again, this is moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour, so not exceedingly fast, but not very slow. It's not taking its time either. And again, this is just south of 82 at this time. In Marysville, it is almost along the Magnolia Highway at this time. It's going to follow it for a little while if it continues the southeasterly trek. So if you're along Braswell Corner Road, Midway Road, and Magnolia Highway, you need to be in your safe place. And I'll repeat that like I'm going to a lot today. It is the interior room of any home or office building that you are in without any windows. We just got the next scan here, and that is a very defined couplet. Again, this has not been a confirmed tornado. It is a tornado warning that goes until 8:30 p.m. It is still trekking southeast. It has a long way to go towards the end of the tornado warning box. So if you were in Marysville right now, along Magnolia Highway, again, it's traveling in this direction. So Midway Highway, McKinney Road, Schuler, and Hopewell Road. If any of those names sound important, you need to be getting into your safe place. If you are leaving from any Father's Day or going to any Father's Day activities, you need to be pulling off the side of the road or go park somewhere and find a safe place. Do not park underneath an overpass or a bridge. That is the last thing you want to do. And you can see the very defined couplet right here, just right around Marysville. It's seated right on top of Magnolia Highway at this time. Again, you need to be getting into your safe place and moving off the road if you are driving. If you know anybody that's driving in that direction, tell them to either wait. If they're a little bit further west than it, or if they're a little bit further east, make sure they either pause, go find a safe place, do whatever they need to do to avoid this. It is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. So areas in the south, in this general area, just southwest of El Dorado at this time, if you know anybody over there, they have a good roughly 32 minutes to be getting into their safe place. Again, it's Father's Day weekend, it's Sunday, everybody's traveling, going home from any activities they had this weekend. So this is very important that everyone pay attention. Here it is on reflectivity, and this is the notch right there that we are tracking. I can show you on velocity once more. Here is the couplet. It's where the reds and the greens mix. That means that there is wind going to and away from the radar. That shows rotation, and that's what we look for when we're tracking the potential for tornado warnings. Again, this is a tornado warning for Union and Columbia County, Arkansas, that goes until 8:30 p.m. tonight. And we're going to zoom in real close to see the exact location. And like I said earlier, it's right on top of Marysville right now, traveling practically along Magnolia Highway, Midway Road, McKinney Road, and Hopewell Road. If any of those names sound very familiar, you need to be getting into your safe place immediately. This is still moving at roughly 25 miles per hour, and also surrounding it, the entire storm has a severe thunderstorm warning with it anyway that has penny-sized hail associated with it and wind gusts of about 60 miles per hour. This is, again, for Union and Columbia, southern Arkansas. About every few seconds or so, we get a radar swipe that'll update, but it's very evident this is the couplet. That's where the reds and the greens are mixing, and that's when you have different wind directions coming to and away from the radar that we're using. We're using the National Weather Service of Shreveport's radar at this time. But if you are on or anywhere near southeast of Marysville, anywhere southeast of here, so Braswell Corner Road, Midway Road, Magnolia Highway, and west of Cairo, but north of Schuler, you need to be getting into your safe place. That is the most interior room of any building that you are in, without any windows. The biggest reason for that is if there are flying debris, you don't want anything to crash through a window and injure you. So again, the most interior room of any building you may be residing in. I know it is Father's Day Sunday. There's a lot of people on the road traveling back from Father's Day activity at this time. If they are traveling anywhere along 82 Magnolia Highway, on Braswell Corner Road, Midway Road, and anywhere north of Schuler and Salem Road as well, it'll be crossing that area pretty soon in the next few minutes or so. You need to be getting off of the road, finding a safe place, or do not drive southeast into it, or northeast into it, or northwest into it as well. It is crossing Maryville right now. We're waiting on a new update with a scan in just a few seconds or so. But the storm really isn't moving all that quick. It's only moving about 25 miles per hour at this time. And again, there is hail associated with the entire storm system that it resides in as well. I can show you a reflectivity. And the storm is actually along a boundary that we've been tracking. And there's also a new severe thunderstorm warning for Union, Arkansas as well. But we're more focused on the tornado warning at this time. That is for Columbia and Union County as well. So we're going to zoom in right quick and also name off some road names for you again. It is just south of Maryville, and I do believe we're actually going to see a new tornado warning for that one in Union County as well in Arkansas. And there's the couplet right there. It's pretty evident where they are, where the reds and greens mix. So if you are in any of these areas, if you are traveling along 82 or 167, get off the road, find a safe place. If you know anybody that's traveling to and from Father's Day activities, they need to be, again, moving into a safe place. And that is a very defined couplet just east of Norfolk right now. And again, along 82, heading, both of them will be particularly heading southeast. And again, it's about the second one that's in this area east of Norfolk. That'll be lasting probably for another 30 minutes or so. But this one that is again heading southeast will be lasting until 8:30, so a little less than 30 minutes at this time. And both of them are pretty defined couplets. We look for the reds and the greens that mix here. And there's that warning. It actually goes out until 8:45 p.m. That storm is moving at approximately southeast at 20 miles per hour, so 5 miles per hour slower than the storm right here. That gives everyone near Strong, Arkansas or north more time to get into your safe place. If you are just south of Callion right now, you need to be in your safe place already. You need to be getting in there now. I'm going to repeat what that is. That is the interior room of any building that you reside in without any windows. If there's a potential tornado on the ground, lofting debris, you don't want anything to be breaking windows and shattering anything in your house or building that you reside in. Let's move in real quick to see some names right here. So Crane City is where we'll be crossing pretty soon. Crane City Road, Purdue City, Old Union, Morro Bay Highway, and Co Road 22. Those are all people in areas that need to be getting into your safe place. Again, the storm that has the potential tornado is traveling southeast at 20 miles per hour. So if you know that you are south of Ritchie or Crane City or Champlainville, you need to be in your safe place. That again is the interior room of any building that you reside in. If you have family or friends that you know that just came back from Father's Day activities, give them a call, make sure they know what's happening. I know not a lot of people have their alerts turned on right now. We're all experiencing some storm fatigue from the past few days, but again, it is very important that you are staying weather aware. Jumping back to the storm off to the east real quick, and another one just got issued for Calhoun, Arkansas and Bradley, Arkansas. It has been extended to expand both of those two. And again, it's mostly for that same storm that's moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. So it's not really slow, but it's not considerably fast either. So areas that are within the red flashing boxes, you have time to be getting into your safe place. We're going to jump over to the one off into the west right now. That was just in Marysville. It's now south of Marysville, south of Magnolia Highway. If you were on McKinney Road and in Schuler, if you are in Schuler, you need to be in your safe place already, preparing for the storm that's about to come. Again, it is not a confirmed tornado, but it has the couplet right here for the suspected tornado. The reds and greens are mixing. That means wind is going to and from and away from the radar, which means, again, there's this rotation associated with that. So if you were in Schuler, McKinney Road, Alphen or Schuler Road, and Hopewell Road, you need to be in your safe place. If you know anyone around that area, give them a call, make sure they're staying weather aware, make sure that they're in the interior room of any building that they're residing in, and make sure that they know what's happening. We can move off to the east. Again, we have two, potentially three tornado warnings that we're discussing right now. And this one is for Union, Arkansas and Bradley, Arkansas counties, that is. And this goes until 8:45. The previous one I was just showing just south of Maryville next to Schuler, that is until 8:30 p.m. tonight. Here's the suspected area of rotation. It's really hugging the southeast border of it right now. And the area of rotation is not as defined as it was even just a few minutes ago. But if you are in Crane City or Purdue City or know on Morro Bay Highway, if you know anybody along there or you yourself, get into your safe place. If you are trying to leave to go somewhere, stay and wait till it passes. You do not want to be on the road during this, and if you know anybody on the road in the area, give them a call, make sure they're staying safe. Do not let anybody park underneath an overpass or a highway. That is the worst thing and the last thing you want to do, especially when folks are traveling. We're going to jump back for just a second to look at the bigger picture, and notice these are the only warnings in the entire area right now. So let's jump back in and get close. El Dorado is sandwiched in between the two right now. Again, this is for Union, Arkansas, Columbia, Arkansas. These are counties, not places, not cities. Union County as well as Bradley County. The one on the west looks a little bit more developed than the one on the east right now. We've been tracking this one a little bit before 8 o'clock. So if you know anybody along McKinney Road and north of Schuler, if you are in Schuler, in those communities, make sure they know where their safe place is located. Give them a call. I know it's Father's Day Sunday. Not a lot of people are out right now. They're either at someone else's house spending time with their dad. A lot of people go fishing on Father's Day. Make sure they know what's happening. Make sure they are aware of the surroundings and the storms that are there. Because for the most part of this afternoon, things are really blue, really beautiful. But as of right now, in this particular area, north of Schuler, you need to be getting into your safe place. If you do not have a safe place inside an office, home, building, your car will be the next best bet, but you may want to not park underneath an overpass or any sort of bridge. That's, again, the last thing you want to do. Let's zoom in real quick on the area of rotation of the potential tornado. If you are along Deer Camp Road, Salem Road, Hopewell Road, Midway Road, Cathy Road, Hopewell Road again, any of those areas, this is the area of suspected rotation that will be impacting Schuler in the next few minutes. You've had a lot of time to get into your safe place. This warning goes out until 8:30. So make sure, again, you know exactly where to look and exactly where to go. Let's zoom out and make sure that we don't have any more warnings being issued for our area. We do not at this time. we just have these two that we're tracking, and let's look at them on reflectivity. Again, the one to the west, this particular one here, looks a little bit more defined. You can see the green, the distinct green and the distinct red right here. Well, off to the east, we can see that one. It still has a couplet. It's just not as distinct as, or well rotated as the one particularly on the west. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It's just, again, not well distinct. So we're going to look at it on reflectivity, just to get the general feeling. And also associated with it, there's an entire line of thunderstorms. Embedded with it are severe thunderstorms, and embedded within the severe thunderstorms are the tornado warnings. We weren't really expecting this at the start of the day. We were just making sure that everyone knew what they were doing regarding the thunderstorm safety. Tornadoes, or the thought of tornadoes, came as a secondary thought later in the afternoon when there was a lot of instability happening. But again, the particular storm, the tornado warning off to the west, looks a little bit more distinct at this time. And right now it is just north of Schuyler, and it's moving southeast. So it's going to directly cross over Schuyler and potentially head into Troll. So if you were in Troll, you need to be getting into your safe place now. If you're in Schuyler, you should already be in your safe place. Again, I'll repeat this a lot. It is the most interior room of any building you are in without any windows. We just got an update here, and it still looks fairly coupled. The reds and the greens are very compact. The green is very bright. But if we go off to the east to check on our other one with the newest update, the green is a little bit more distinct at this time. The couplet is a little bit more well deformed. So that means that rotation is evident there as well. Particularly, that's why we do have a tornado warning there. So if you are east of Crane City, if you are on Hargett Road, Morro Bay Highway, Co Road 22, or anywhere along southeast in this general direction, you need to be getting into your safe place. If you know anyone that just left your house for Father's Day activities, if you know anyone that's coming towards your house and you're in that area, give them a call. Make sure they know what's happening. Again, like I said earlier, Father's Day weekend, a lot of folks go fishing. They go to places without any cell service, and that is not something that you don't want. That you want cell service or a way to have and receive watches and warnings, not just right now, but potentially for the next few hours or so overnight till about 1 a.m. Let's zoom in on our western storm real quick. And again, this storm is moving about 25 miles per hour southeast at this time, so it is moving a smidge faster than the one off to the east. If you are in Schuyler, you need to be in your safe place immediately. You do not have any time to wait. I can zoom in on some further roads here. Deer Camp Road, Alphen Road, Hopewell Road. Again, Alphen Road, Robertson Lane, Marty Robertson Lane, Schuyler Road, or in Schuyler, is going to cross pretty much directly over Schuyler. It is going southeast. If you are in Troll, you need to be getting into your safe place. You've only got minutes. Again, this is moving at about 25 miles per hour at this exact moment. That is a well-defined couplet. So if you don't have any time to waste to getting into your safe place, again, if you are in Schuyler right now, you should be taking shelter already. You should have been doing that 5 minutes ago. But again, you need to be taking shelter if you're in Schuyler. If you're along Deer Camp Road, Alphen Road, Hopewell Road, Matty Robertson Road, Lane, and if you are in Troll, if you're along any of these areas, this is the next line of where it's directed to. It's moving at 25 miles per hour right now, and there's also hail associated with the storm. Do not go outside to try to see it, because if you don't see the tornado or the potential tornado or wall cloud dropping, again, this is embedded within a severe thunderstorm that has potential for penny-sized hail, lightning, and heavy rain. Those are all things that you should not be going outside to see, regardless if there was a tornado warning or not. You can take a step back to look at the entire area. Again, we just have the 3 tornado warnings that we're tracking associated with 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that we're tracking in southern Arkansas. Again, those areas, El Dorado is just sandwiched in between the 2. That is for Union County and Bradley County, as well as just got trimmed back. So Columbia County, you are no longer included in the tornado warning. It has been trimmed, but still a significant couplet right there that is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. The cell towards Mount Holly is looking at like has entered a well-developed environment at this time. So if you know anybody along that area, if you're going in the southeast, if you were in Schuler, if you were in Troll, if you're in Wesson, Griffin, Foster Hill, if I just named any of those areas, get into your safe place. This warning goes out until 8:30 p.m. tonight. So if I just named any of those locations, get into your safe place. It is currently 8:14. You have roughly 16 minutes left of this tornado warning to go. If it's extended, then it'll go even further than that. But if you are on Alphen Road in Schuler, just south of Schuler now with this newest update, if you are in Troll or Schuler Road or in Griffin, you need to be in your safe place. Folks that just left the Father's Day celebrations, if you went out to eat tonight, if you know folks that are going out to eat tonight, you need to be getting into your safe place, and still you need to call them, make sure that they're being weather aware. Some folks don't have their emergency alerts turned on because it's a holiday. Make sure that those in your family are aware of what's happening right now. Again, this is moving at southeast at 25 miles per hour in this direction. This couplet right here is what we're tracking right now. The reds and the greens that are mixing, that's a definite indicator that there is rotation in the atmosphere. We can zoom out and go check on our storm off to the east. Again, it's not nearly as defined as the one off to the west. That is not me saying don't pay attention to the storm. If you are under a tornado watch and warning, get into your safe place. Know where it is. It's the interior room of any building that you are in without any windows. If you are in this area or in the red flashing box off to the east, you need to know where that is and get in there soon. The off to the east in Union County, Arkansas, that will be going on until 8:45, just 10 minutes longer than the one potentially off over here. This is until 8:30. Again, they're moving on into the southeast at roughly 25 to 20 miles per hour. So not significantly fast, but not very slow either. Notice that even just 15 minutes ago, it was still in Columbia County. Now it is firmly in Union County, Arkansas. Again, until 8:30 p.m. We're going to zoom into this one again and get some more street names just to make sure everyone is aware of what's going on. Again, if you are in Alphen Road, Maddie Robertson Lane is going to cross right here. Hopewell Road is off to the east. If you are in Troll, it is moving southeast. It's still going east, not directly south. So if you are anywhere southeast of this, take shelter. Make sure you don't park underneath an overpass or a highway if you're watching on Facebook Live. Make sure that you know where your safe place is. If you know anybody in this area, give them a call. It's Father's Day weekend. It's Father's Day Sunday. People are getting ready to go to work tomorrow. It is 8:17 at night, and people need to stay weather aware over the course of tonight and potentially into tomorrow morning. The tornado watch does go until 1 a.m. Again, so we're tracking 2 potential tornado warnings. And honestly, folks, it's diving more south than southeast at this time. You see the very distinctive green right here, and that's a coupling with the red. That means there is wind going to and away the radar that we're using. We're using the National Weather Service of Shreveport's radar at this time. The couplet off to the east, we'll take a look at it as well. Get some names here, and notice again, it's not as well defined, but that doesn't mean there's nothing there. It just may not have as well defined couplet because it's further away from the radar. If you're on Co Road 22, Morro Bay Highway, Pigeon Hill Road, Philadelphia Road, and Kidd Road, if you're in any of those areas, the potential area of rotation is seated just northwest of you. Remember, it is moving southeast at this time, about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Also associated with it is going to be potentially hail, penny-sized hail, which is 0.75 inches, and wind speeds not associated with the tornado warning of 60 mile per hour wind gust or higher. This area goes until 8:45 p.m. So if you're in Pigeon Hill, Caryville Landing, and again, Crane City, it is just now north of you, but still a little bit further east at this time. So if you were in this general area, McGlinden Mill, New London, get into your safe place, know where that is. It is the interior room of any office, home, building. If you're in the grocery store doing some shopping before the next week, get into the interior of the building. If you're watching on Facebook Live. Going back to our storm off to the west now. Again, it is going to be on Alphen Road. If you were in Troll, get into your safe place. Tram Road, Salem Road, Hopewell Road, and Three Creeks. It is kind of riding the southern edge of this tornado warning at this time. I'm not saying that if you're on Schuler Road and in Griffin, get out of your safe place. No, that's not what I'm telling you. If you were in the red flashing box and you reside in any of these areas in West End, Griffin, Toll, Schuler Road, and in Tram Road, you need to be in your safe place until at least 8:30, if it does not get extended after 8:30 as well. Again, it is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour, and also we just got a new radar update, and notice the area of rotation is still right about here. I'll actually draw it out for you, just so we can get the bigger picture per se of where it's at in association with the tornado warning. And notice that it's actually moving a little bit quicker than the one off to the east. The one off to the east is moving at 20 miles per hour, whereas this one moving at 25. You may think a 5 mile per hour difference is not that big of a deal, but in actuality, people that are in the southwestern portions of this tornado warning will have less time to get into their safe place than the tornado warning off into the east. So we're going to zoom in on that again to make sure that we know everyone that is in their safe place knows exactly where that is located. Again, if you are on Tram Road right now, and if you are in Troll and Three Creeks, get into your safe place. Get into the most interior room of any building that you are in. Make sure it does not have any windows. Interior rooms can be a closet, a bathroom, a lowered area like a den, somewhere that just doesn't have any windows. If there is potential debris flying from even high wind speeds in the area, because again, even if this is not a potential tornado, if it were just high winds, there still could be potential debris flying around, and you don't want that to break any windows in any residence or area that you reside in and potentially cause harm. If you are on Tram Road, it is particularly riding the southwestern portion of the tornado warning at this time, the red flashing box. Again, Tram Road, Hopewell Road, and if you were in Three Creeks, it is coming there significantly faster than the one off to the east is for that area. Troll, you still need to be in your safe place. You are northeast of it, but the area of rotation is this area right here. So Hopewell Road, Tram Road, Three Creeks, Salem Road, all the way up here, Alphen Road, all of those areas that I just named, be in your safe place. If you know anyone driving to and from Father's Day activities, give them a call and make sure that they're aware of the situation that's going on. Taking a look at the one off to the east at this time, and there's still a pretty defined couplet there on both of them. I would not be surprised if both warnings actually get extended, especially the one off to the west at this time. Let's go take a look at the one off to the east and make sure that everyone is staying safe along Co Road 22, Morro Bay Highway, Pigeon Hill, Caryville Landing, Philadelphia Road, New London and New London Road, North Road, and McGlinden Mill. If I just named any of those areas, if they sound familiar, get into your safe place. Again, this is for southern Arkansas, in Union County, Arkansas, and in Bradley, Arkansas as well. Majority of the warnings are in Union County. El Dorado is sandwiched in the middle of the two. And both of these, or all of these tornado warnings, will be moving southeast. Right now they're moving roughly about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So if you are on the southern portion of the tornado warning boxes, you still have a few minutes to get into your safe place. You don't have a lot of time, but you have more time than you would if it were going any faster. This storm off to the west is moving about 5 miles faster than the one off to the east. So if you're in this storm associated, there needs to be a little bit of quickness when you're moving into your severe or your thunderstorm safety and severe thunderstorm safety area. Again, that is in Schuler, in Troll, in Hopewell Road. If you are in Three Creeks, get into your tornado safety place. That is the most interior room of any building that you reside in. That is the area that doesn't have any windows. That could be a bathroom. That could be a closet. If you know anybody traveling home from Father's Day activities, I know some folks went fishing today, and they may not be in an area that has a lot of service. Give them a call and make sure that they know what is being active in the area. Three Creeks, you are up next in the area of rotation. Again, this is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. This warning ends at 8:30. I do believe and it has the potential to be extended for a little while longer. We will keep you updated when it does, obviously on live stream, until that happens. It could be crossing the Louisiana border within the next 30 minutes or so, the next hour. That may be included in the next update with the next warning. Moving off to the one to the east, it keeps rejuvenizing itself. It keeps having a little spin up every now and again. It gets weaker, and then there's a couple that reforms with the next scan. Every scan's a little bit different. This one has been a definite couplet for almost the past 30 minutes or so. The one off to the east has weakened in rotation and then re-strengthened. You can see now it has a little bit of green, not nearly as much as the one west of El Dorado at this time, but the one northeast of El Dorado is starting to show some signs of strengthening and higher amounts of rotation. So if you are southwest of Pigeon Hill, Caryville Landing, Co-Road 22, Morro Bay Highway, Pigeon Hill Road, Philadelphia Road, and even further southwest than that, if you were in McLendon Mill, if you were in that area, get into your safe place. This particular tornado warning goes until 8:45 p.m. So you have roughly 20 minutes if you are in the southeastern portion of that area, southwestern, if you're on the southern border of it, you have roughly 20 minutes to be getting into your safe place. That is plenty of time to be going into the most interior room of any building that you're residing in. If you're at home, go into the bathroom, put the kids in the bathtub, make sure they're covered with pillows and other areas that are soft, even with the bike helmets on top of them if you need to. Going off into our more well-defined potential tornado off to the west here. Again, it is still hugging that southwestern border of the tornado warning at this time as it continues to go southeast. This one's moving roughly about 5 miles per hour faster than the other one that we were just covering. So if you were in the areas south of it along 167 and west, you have less time to be getting into your safe place. This warning only goes until 8:30, but I highly think that it'll be extended past 8:30 as this potential tornado warning extends past the tornado warning box. You can see with the update that just happened there, it just moved a smidge southeast as it has done for the past 30 minutes or so. Areas that need to get into their safe place. If you were along Tram Road, Hopewell Road, Three Creeks, Toll, if you were in Wesson, Griffin, and any along those areas, get into your safe place at this time. Make sure that you're staying weather aware. Make sure if you are along any of those areas as well, make sure you keep the alerts on over tonight and into, again, early tomorrow morning. That is a pretty well-defined couplet at this time. And actually correct, it did just get extended until 9 p.m. tonight for Claiborne Parish, Louisiana, as well as Union County, Arkansas. So now it has been extended into Louisiana just slightly. This corner, this triangle right here, that is Claiborne Parish, and that is extended until 9 p.m. tonight. It is still moving roughly actually it's going faster than originally forecasted for. It's going 30 miles per hour. So when we originally saw this chase, I believe it did go only 25 miles per hour, but now it is going 30 miles per hour. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, we have 2 active tornado warnings right now, starting to move into really Union County, Arkansas, and it's starting to move just down to the southeast into portions of Louisiana. Again, there's 2 active warnings going on right now. Of course, they just extended this particular tornado warning to at least 9 o'clock later on tonight, and these are the 2 active warnings we got going on. And you can kind of see right there where the green and red are running right into each other. That is the area of rotation that we're starting to see indicated by radar, and it's moving down to the southeast, like you said, about 20 to about 30 miles per hour. National Weather Service has been issuing these warnings because they see that couplet right there, and they've also had that severe thunderstorm warning that's also in effect to at least 8:30 p.m. Wouldn't be surprised if they might actually extend that further down to the southeast. Again, this is just to the south of El Dorado. El Dorado is not included with the actual tornado warning, but it is in the severe thunderstorm warning. But the active tornado warning is moving just down to the southeast, and it's just to the southwest of El Dorado, and it's moving down to the southeast. So if you live in the southwestern section of Union County, Arkansas, you need to start heading to your tornado safe place and start being actively aware and watching this particular system. Again, we don't have any other tornado warnings within Louisiana within this actual polygon that's starting to extend into portions of actual Union County, Union Parish, Louisiana. And then of course we have the other active tornado warning. I'm going to go up and show this one just for just a second. They haven't exactly extended this one just yet. This one is to at least 8:45 p.m. and there's still a slight signature right here that we're currently watching right now. This is to the northeast of El Dorado. This is kind of moving towards, I'm about to say this is actually, over here is Ashley County, Arkansas, so right here around Bradley and Calhoun County, Arkansas. So we're starting to see this move just to the east of that, so we're going to be watching that system. But it kind of shows a little bit weakening a little bit, but there's still just enough signature right there that we're probably going to keep that tornado warning active for just a little bit longer. But the main concern right now is this particular system right here, where you can see this area of rotation going on right now. Of course, Alex, you're watching the Weather Service chat. Are we seeing anything new developments? Have the Weather Service put anything out with this particular storm?
Again, no, it is radar indicated still, no confirmation on whether it is actually on the ground or not. I will note, though, it is moving significantly quicker than it was when it was originally warned in that area, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour at this time.
Okay. Not a whole lot of communities. Again, I'm trying to draw out the storm track here, and again, not a whole lot of communities, but there are still plenty of neighborhoods and people that live out in rural areas just to the south and southwest of El Dorado. Again, El Dorado, Arkansas is not included with this particular tornado warning. But again, if you live just to the south of El Dorado, again, there's a lot of neighborhoods and small communities out in this direction. Again, not any actual towns that's really in the path of it, but again, this storm could continue and move into portions of Union Parish. Again, I'm going to draw out this line just a little bit. Again, not a whole lot of communities, so I'm not picking up anything on the track here. So again, not a whole lot of big cluster of towns or anything in the path of this particular storm. It's going to move and actually miss El Dorado. So if you're in El Dorado, you're really in the clear. I don't expect this tornado to move towards your direction, but it is moving just down to the southeast. And again, if you know anybody that lives in these particular areas, you definitely need to call them and make sure, tell them they need to be watching and paying attention to this particular storm. Again, this is only indicated by radar. This is not something that's been confirmed. There's not been a spotter that says, hey, there's an actual tornado right here, but we are seeing some strong indications looking at the velocity of an actual rotational signature right here, and thus the National Weather Service, it has that tornado warning in effect till at least 9 o'clock. And we still have this one particular system just up to the northeast that we're watching in particular. It's showing signs of weakening, but there's still just enough rotation in that particular storm that we can see a small couplet right there where that red and green kind of is. Again, not as big as the one just down to the southwest, but just to the northeast of El Dorado and kind of moving towards the southeast, same direction as these other particular storms are. I'm going to show the reflectivity for just a second and just give you an idea of what we've been looking at with these particular storms. Again, kind of somewhat independent from one another. We didn't really have a tornado watch that got extended out in this direction. We had a tornado watch that was extended into portions of our viewing area, but didn't really include a good chunk of South Arkansas or really northwest Louisiana at all. But they have issued a tornado watch for portions of Mississippi and eastern sections of our viewing area till at least 1 o'clock this morning. But we could still see the possibility of more severe storms that will be popping up, and we're going to remain on air until at least these couple of tornado warnings do begin to expire and show signs of weakening. But again, we may see more pop-up activity as we continue throughout the day, or excuse me, throughout the night and going to around midnight tonight, because this might be an overnight type of event.
It's until 1 a.m.
To at least 1 a.m. Yeah. So this might be a particular overnight type of event. So we're going to be with you for the next couple of hours until this particular system begins to weaken at all. But we again have that tornado watch, and these tornado warnings have not even an issue within the watch itself just yet. So we could see the spark up of more severe storms as we progress into the overnight hours tonight. Do you have anything else, Alex, to add for these particular storms?
The severe thunderstorm warning that is also associated with your eastern tornado warning has been continued until about 8:45 p.m. tonight. Or 9 o'clock tonight, excuse me, it just got upgraded. It now is extended until 9 p.m. tonight, and that is with the one off to the one in Union, Arkansas, with a 60-mile-per-hour gust indicated with it in penny-sized hail.
Okay, so radar is indicating 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So again, this is kind of what we've been somewhat dealing with for the past couple of days, but it's mainly just been a wind and hail type of event. But we don't normally see these type of storms this time of year. This is mid-June. Normally in the spring and fall, you have the collision of these air masses, a warm air mass and a cold air mass, and they're just running into each other. We don't normally see this time in June, but we've had that stationary boundary layer that's been draped over our region for honestly the past couple, stretching all the way back to Wednesday of last week, and along that boundary layer we've had spark of severe thunderstorms, and they've been producing winds 67 miles per hour, and in some cases they've been reaching up to almost 80, which is actually EF0 strength of a small tornado with these severe thunderstorms that have been moving through the past couple of days. And now we actually have a potential tornadic system that could develop over the next couple of hours, getting closer to around midnight for portions of our area.
And it's also something to note is that the one that your finger on is right now, that's only moving at 20 miles per hour, that entire area of the storm, versus the one off to the southwest is moving at 30 miles per hour. So if you are the one off southwest of El Dorado, if you're in that red flashing box, you have less time to get into your safe place than the one off to the northeast. Also, the one off to the northeast goes until 8:45, while the one in south of El Dorado that clips into northern Louisiana goes until 9 p.m. tonight.
Right, so this particular storm, like you just mentioned, is moving at a faster rate than the one to the northeast. I'm going to try to get a time lapse on this and kind of show you the lapse of this particular system, if we can get that maybe going off Shreveport radar here. Okay. Might be able to show a lapse right here if I can. Alex, you might be able to do it on your end, but I was going to kind of show the storm motion of this moving down to the southeast. Like you said, it's moving about 35 miles per hour, so it's going just a little bit faster than the one to the northeast, so you don't have as much leadway time with this particular storm, but they have stretched out that polygon moving just down to the southeast. So again, watching the storm in particular moving out of Union County, Arkansas, starting to move into portions of Union Parish right now. And again, we're going to be watching the storm and staying with you on the air and provide you with the information with this particular storm possible and keep you and your family safe. I want to pull up the velocity track on it once again, and there it is again, right where this green and red is running into each other. That is where we're seeing signs of a decent amount of rotation, and again, this is going to be going on for the next till about 9 o'clock. That's how the tornado warning is going to be going on until at least 9 o'clock. So we're going to stay with you for at least the next 30 minutes. Again, we're reaching the top. It's about 8:36, so we got at least about another 24 minutes left with this particular storm. And if it doesn't show any signs of weakening, they could start to extend that further down to the southeast into portions of Union Parish, heading towards Farmerville. Now, Farmerville's not included in this warning, but this particular storm is no doubt heading in your direction, and it'll probably be there by around later on in the 9 o'clock hour, getting closer to 10 o'clock, and we'll start to see this line of storms move closer and move across the Arkansas-Louisiana border into further portions of Louisiana Parish. And we're going to start to see more spark of activity as we progress into the overnight hours and get closer to around midnight. And has there not been any new developments with this particular storm there, Alex?
I do believe that we need to go check on the one north of Strong, the one off to the northeast. I do believe the couplet is still pretty prominent, so it may get extended pretty soon. That one, right?
Okay, yeah, so they're probably going to be extending this one right here?
Yes.
Okay, so they have, 2 warnings for this particular storm? I believe I think this is about where Shreveport and Little Rock are starting to run into each other, because we got 2 kind of warnings right here, and they're kind of squiggly lined out right here. And this is, we have 2 warnings right here, one till 8:45. Okay, they're both till 8:45, one for Bradley County and also for Union County, Arkansas, and again, starting to move towards the south. Both these storms are moving in a more southeasterly direction, and this is moving kind of towards the area of Strong right now. So if you live in that area, you're definitely going to be paying close attention to this particular storm. And again, this is some strong activity with the radar starting to show strong velocity signatures with this particular storm. So we're going to have to be paying close attention and watching the storm. Like I said, if you live in the community of Strong, you're not included in the tornado warning, and it's actually more than likely might move just down to the southeast. Been trying to get a motion track on this. Alex, can we show a motion track on these storms to like show a time lapse of this past 30 minutes?
I don't believe so at this time, but I think it would behoove us to zoom in off into the southwestern one and get some street names for that one, because the couplet's pretty defined there.
Yeah, this particular storm does have a much stronger signature, and I'm going to zoom in on this one and try to give y'all a better look at this one right here. And yeah, because this definitely has a much stronger signature, and definitely want to show and make sure people are safe. Again, there are not a whole lot of communities right here along this area right here. Not seeing a whole lot as far as streets, but around
Three Creeks,
yeah.
Tram Road, Three Creeks Road, West End Road, Griffin. If you're just northeast of it this time, but you can still potentially get some strong winds off of it. And further down southeast, and within that same tornado warning, is Scotland, just south of Three Creeks Road as well. So any areas or any folks that are celebrating Father's Day, if you're driving along those areas, please make sure that people know what's happening and are aware of, or whether aware of what's happening right now.
Yeah, right now, if you're in the Three Creeks, you need to already be in your tornado safe place right now. It's moving just past Tram Road and moving just towards the south, and Three Creeks Road and down in that direction. If you live out towards, was it Scotland Road?
It's Scotland Road, Scotland, Corny, Junction City Highway, Southfield Road, and Wesson Road.
Wesson Road, yeah. So if you live on any of the roads we just mentioned, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. That could be anything from a basement, an interior closet, or bathroom, anything like that. Mobile homes are not safe places to be right now in this particular situation with this rotational couplet that we're looking at. Again, if you live in any of the roads we just mentioned, the communities of Corny, look down towards Scotland, Three Creeks Road, the community of Three Creeks, this area rotation is right on top of you guys. So right now there could potentially be a tornado moving right over you guys right now. You already need to be in your tornado safe place, and if you live out towards Corny or Scotland, you have probably less than 5 minutes to get to your tornado safe place right now. Now, of course, looking further down along the tornado warning box, again, if you live out towards the small communities, was that Caledonia,
Blanchard Springs.
Yeah, and Blackard Springs, and then out towards
Junction City.
Yeah, Junction City. Alex can see some of these cities as communities just a little bit better than I can, looking at these at the monitors here. What is this up here? Catesville?
Yes, Catesville.
Yeah, Catesville.
Along Southfield Road, Corny, Junction City Highway, Welch Road, Caledonia, Blanchard Springs, Junction City, Scotland Road, and Three Creeks Road. And I do believe we actually just got a new radar scan as well.
Okay, yeah, I noticed it updated a minute ago too, yeah. If you live in any of the communities we just mentioned, you just have about, I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes to start heading to your tornado safe place right now, and you need to remain in place till at least 9 o'clock. That's when this warning is set to expire, and if this radar signature doesn't change, I mean, start to move further into the polygon, but by the time we get to the 9 o'clock hour, it will be on the southeastern end of the polygon if it doesn't show any signs of weakening. And if it does stay up until the end of the expiration of the polygon, we could see the tornado warning get extended further into portions of Louisiana, because we're starting to cut into, right here is the Arkansas-Louisiana border, and right over here is Union Parish, and Farmerville is actually just down to my southeast right here. Now, you guys are not right now any tornado warning or anything, but if the system stays strong, it is definitely heading your direction. So definitely be paying attention to what's going on here. I know there's a lot. It's Father's Day weekend. A lot of people have kind of been out and about. This is kind of day most people are going out to eat. I just came in earlier, noticed that the fair is going on right now, and just a lot's been going on right now in portions of southern Arkansas, and these storms will start making their way into portions of northeast Louisiana over the next couple of hours, going towards the 10 o'clock and later half, closer towards midnight. So a lot's going on right now, so we need to be paying attention. Yeah, Alex?
It just got extended until 9:30, the one that you're on right now. The couplet is still slightly confined. It's not as well defined as the one off to the west, but it is defined enough that it got extended into 9:30, and also it is still moving at 20 miles per hour. So folks that are in this particular tornado warning have a bit more time to get into their safe place than the area southwest of them.
Yeah, I'm just now switching to the radar up towards Little Rock because this is in northeastern sections of Union County, Arkansas, and Little Rock radar's just a little bit closer, so we're starting to see a little bit better signature because using the Shreveport radar, it was a little bit difficult to see, but now we're switching to Little Rock, and now I can start to see a little bit better couplet right here between the green and the red, and again, this is moving to the southeast. So I mentioned strong earlier. It looks like this particular tornado warning, it's still close for too close for comfort, but still, it's moving to the southeast, so it's looking like it's going to avoid you guys. But let's get a zoom in on this particular area right here and start to name off some of these communities and streets and let you know what you need to be doing right now.
McGlinden Mill, Pagan Road, New Union, Jones Lake Road, North Road, Phelps Road, North Road, and Christian Road, just north of that. That area where your finger just was is Christian Road, I believe, and North Road. It honestly looks like it's traveling along North Road, southeast.
Yeah, say those roads again there, Alex. I didn't.
That is North Road, Phelps Road, Christian Road, and those are the only three that we have right there at this time. If you zoom out a little bit, it's also on a New London Road and Pool Road to the west.
Okay. If you live in any of the roads we just mentioned, you need to be in a tornado safe place right now because the area of rotation is right over you guys, and it's going to be really less than like 1 or 2 minutes before you can even get to your tornado safe place. Now this is starting to extend further down to the southeast, and I'll get a better track. I'm going to zoom back just a little bit. Can Alex? There we go. Try to get a better zoom. These are the only active 2 tornado warnings we got going on right now, again, just to the southwest of El Dorado and to the northeast and moving into portions of Ashley County, Arkansas. And these particular storms will start to move into northeastern portions of Louisiana as we progress later on into the evening hours tonight. Now I'm going to try to get a better zoom on this storm. This is the one we're talking about right here. I zoomed in too much, so I wanted to zoom back just a little bit because this was extended further down to the southeast till at least 9:30. And I want to make sure we show these particular roads right here and make sure these people know exactly that it's coming in your direction. All right, so we have New Union right here. We have McGlinden Mill.
New Union.
Yeah, we have the area of New London just to the southwest. You need to be in your tornado safe place right now, but it's looking like it's going to bypass New London right there. But it's heading towards McGlinden Mill and also heading down towards New Union right there and following, what is that, North Road towards...
Strong Highway.
Strong Highway. Yeah, is that Highway 82 or 80? Looks like 82 right there.
Yes, and as well as Pagan Road and Jones Lake Road.
Okay, yeah. So McGlinden Mill, you need to already be in your tornado safe place right now. New Union, you have probably about 5 to 10 minutes to get to your tornado safe place right now. And if you live further down to the southeast, I'm going to zoom just down further, a little further. This is north of Highway 82, looked at around Strong Highway, but it's definitely coming in that direction. If you have any loved ones or know anyone that's out on the roadways, especially in this general area, they need to be you need to be calling them, let them know like, hey, there's a tornado warning active right now. You need to hurry up and get to wherever you need to be going. This is not a particular area that you want to be out and about right now. You need to be in your tornado safe place, especially around the area of McGlinden Mill and around New Union. And we have something Lake Road right here. Can you read that there, Alex?
Yes, but also, side note, there could be a slight debris signature northeast of New London near the Washita River as well.
A debris signature near New London, you said?
Northeast of New London near the Washita River, yes. So Caryville Landing and McGlinden Mill, those areas need to be in shelter now.
Okay, so if you just heard what Alex just mentioned, we have a potential debris signature just to the northeast of New London. So again, now I mentioned earlier, New London looks like it's going to bypass you guys, but you're still within the actual polygon. So you need to stay bunkered down in your tornado safe place right now. And in McGlinden Mill, New Union, you guys also need to be in your tornado safe place right now and hold out till at least 9:30. Again, we're going to stay with you guys until the passing of this tornado and once it starts to weaken, but we still have more tornado warnings, and I believe this one warning here is in purple. So okay, so they have confirmed, like you said, with the debris signature. So we do have an actual confirmed tornado right now just to the north of McGlinden Mill. Make sure I'm saying that correctly there.
Just south of Caryville Landing at this time.
Yep, so there's Caryville Landing right there. Pigeon Hill is just off to the north right there. They're not included in the tornado warning. They're in the severe thunderstorm warning. But yeah, Caryville Landing's right there. In between Caryville Landing and McGlendon Mill right there. What road is this right here, Alex? Can you read that one?
That's North Road, but let me zoom in for you.
Oh, that's still North Road? Okay. Yeah, this is where the actual confirmed tornado right now, where we're actually picking up a debris signature. You need to be in your tornado safe place. This is not a safe situation at all. This is a particular dangerous scenario. When we have a confirmed tornado on the ground, we're starting to pick up on a debris signature that was indicated by the Weather Service. They said it was indicated on the radar, so they have already confirmed a tornado right here. So this is definitely a dangerous situation. Between Caryville Landing and McGlendon Mill, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. That can be anything from a basement or anything underground, storm shelter, if you have one of those. An interior closet or an interior bathroom is the best place to be in a situation like this. Mobile homes are not safe places to be in this particular situation. Now again, we're zooming in a little bit better. I can actually start to read some of these roads right here. What is that, Chatham?
That is a Christian Road and North Road and Phelps Road.
Okay, if you live along North Road and Christian Road, like I said, you need to be in your tornado safe place. It is currently right on top of you guys right now looking at the radar. So this is definitely a dangerous scenario. We just had a new update on the radar. I'll try to zoom up a little bit. And you know, it kind of looks like earlier I had some strong red and green there, but the red is starting to weaken just a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean all clear or anything like that. That just means the tornado, from being potentially strong, it could be weakening just a little bit, but we're still seeing the area of rotation on the radar, so they're going to keep that warning active, and then you need to stay bunkered down in the particular areas. Here, you have something new to add?
Check on your southwest one. We haven't looked at that one in a while. Let's check on the rotation in southwestern Union County right now. I do believe the area of rotation is slightly weaker than it was just a few minutes ago, but again, that is another area of concern that we are tracking at this time. I do believe the Shreveport velocity would look better right there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over to this one. Yeah, we were using the Shreveport one for this one, but the one to the northeast, Little Rock, was showing just a little bit better. Okay, so yeah. So there's still some indication right there. There's a little bit bigger swath of green there, and it's kind of moving right here on the southwestern end of the actual polygon itself. And honestly, I would probably say on the northeastern end, it doesn't expect, you know, you're still in the polygon, and I always say respect the polygon. If you lie within it, you need to be heading to your tornado safe place and waiting. This tornado warning is set till at least 9 o'clock. And, you know, you said it was showing signs of weakening.
I believe the area of rotation is slightly broader than it was even just 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, so there's a little bit broader area of rotation right there, but nevertheless, you definitely need to be heading to your safe place. So I'm going to zoom in right there. I would say it's the best area of rotation.
That is Whippoorwill Road, Laney Road, Scotland Road and Scotland Community, State Line Roads as along the actual state line, and Kenner Brew.
Right
Road.
there is, put my hand right on it. That's the actual Louisiana and Arkansas state line right there. Am I right there, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, right here where my current hand is, that's where the actual state line between Louisiana and Arkansas is, and right here is where the area of rotation, again, the polygon, is currently drawn out right there. We're kind of along the edge of it right there on the southwestern end of this particular polygon. Can you name off these roads once again there, Alex?
That is Whippoorwill Road, Laney Road, and Kimberbrew Road.
Okay, if you live along those two roads we just mentioned, the area of rotation is right on top of you guys. You need to be heading to your tornado safe place right now. And we're looking at other areas right here. Again, there's State Line Road right there. So, and also there's the area of Scotland. You need to be in your tornado safe place heading there right now as well. And if you live just into northern sections of this is actually Claiborne Parish right now. If you live in northeastern sections of Claiborne Parish, you also need to be paying attention heading to a tornado safe place right now.
Check your northeastern storm because that still has the debris signature associated with it. I do believe that is still flashing purple, so correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're still, this one was confirmed other than the one south of El Dorado. So yeah, we've been, if you're just now joining with us, we're breaking into live programming right now because we do have 2 active tornado warnings going on right now. One is currently confirmed just to the northeast of El Dorado, moving around the northeastern sections of Union County, Arkansas, and moving just down to the southeast, starting to cross a little bit closer towards Ashley County. And
I believe it's also moving towards Bradley County as well.
Yeah, here's Bradley County right here. And it's kind of moving along the southern end of Bradley County, right around Bradley County and Union County, Arkansas meet right here. This is where the actual tornado is kind of following the county border between Bradley and Union and Arkansas right now. And these are the only two active warnings. This one and also the one down to the southwest El Dorado are the only two active warnings we got going on right now. And both of these warnings, one to the south, it's been extended till at least 9 o'clock, and then we had this one that's been extended till 9:30. So we have about at least, I would say, another 6 or 7 minutes or so for one down to the south, but we still have an additional just over 30 minutes, about 38 minutes still going on with the system to the northeast right now, and just to the north of Strong, moving along the Bradley County and Union County border right now. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer to this one, and I'm going to switch radars and show, because the Arkansas radar was showing just a little bit better with this particular storm. Again, Little Rock radar is right here, and I'm going to switch the velocity.
Let me tilt it for you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. All right, so right here, where this little shade of red there and this area of green, again, really looking at this, it's kind of looking like it's weakening. I would say the one down to the south had a bit better rotational signature with that one than this one does. But again, it's still showing some signs of rotation, and they're going to keep this active until we show better signs of it weakening and starting to dissipate. So if you live right along, like I was mentioning earlier, the Bradley County and Union County border right now, you need to be in your tornado safe place. And even it's moving down to the southeast, and this one was moving up, let's say, a bit slower than the one down to the southwest.
It was moving at approximately 20 miles per hour, but the one off to the west, if you zoom out to keep both of them in sight,
Yeah.
I do believe that the one off to the west is still slightly weaker than it was even just 10 minutes ago per se. So I wouldn't be surprised if the one off to the west was allowed, the one near Junction City, I should say, will be allowed to expire and just be a severe thunderstorm warning. Near Junction City.
Yeah, and that's probably what might be the case for that one there. They might extend that severe thunderstorm warning right there. And like I said, this one was a confirmed tornado. There was a debris signature, and that's why we have a shade of purple with this particular tornado warning. That's the reason why I was given the purple, because it was confirmed that there's actually one on the ground. We don't have full confirmation just yet of this particular storm just to the south of El Dorado, moving out of Union County, Arkansas, into the northeastern sections of Union Parish, and it's going to start moving in northeastern Claiborne Parish as well, and it's moving just down, if it continues its current track, into, okay, so they just extended the severe thunderstorm warning. That was actually potential with this storm, because it's not really showing any signs of weakening right now. This one here, that's moving just over the state line into Louisiana. Now, Farmerville is not included right now. That's our next large area population, just down to our southeast. You're not included within the severe thunderstorm warning, but it's definitely heading in your direction. Now, the new active severe thunderstorm warning does go into effect until at least 9:45, so we're probably going to be with you guys more than likely, I would say, maybe for the next hour as we see these two particular storms, because that's really the only two storms we're looking at within our viewing gear. I noticed that there was a lot of activity going on just to the east and central portions of Mississippi, but in our viewing area, we had these two particular storms right now. The one to the northeast was showing signs of weakening as far as the velocity was concerned, so they might potentially cancel the tornado warning right there. Again, don't want to hold my breath on that one just yet.
I will say the one that your hand is right over in Bradley County, Arkansas, it is moving more east than southeast at this time, which would also indicate some slight weakening as well.
Okay. So yeah, starting to move more to the east. So if it continues to track like that, then Crossett would more than likely be, Crossett and Hamburg will be in the potential line of this particular storm. I'm going to show a bit better track of that one right there. So it's moving. So here's the particular storm right here, and if it continues more of an easterly track like we were mentioning, and I might be able to show, I'm not sure why that.
It would be at 9 p.m. that they would be in that area.
Yeah. There we go. Try to get that back in view there. So Crossett, this will be in your area by at least 9 o'clock. So again, very active situation going on in southern Arkansas, and it's starting to cross over the border right now into northeastern sections of Louisiana. So again, there's two particular storms we're watching right now, two active tornado warnings, and I would probably say three if you want to count that one in southeastern portions of Bradley County, Arkansas, where one was labeled as confirmed. Then we had the one that was bordered right below it, just to the south right there. Again, this is potentially where we have the collision of two different weather service offices, I would believe, and so that's the reason why you have two separate warnings kind of side by side right there. Now, this is moving to the east, heading towards Crossett and also towards Hamburg. So if you don't live in these particular areas, you're not including any warning right now, but you need to be paying attention because these are our next larger population zones, I would say, in southern Arkansas right now, and El Dorado. I would say El Dorado is looking a little bit clear right now. I'd say you guys are in the clear as these storms are moving just past you guys. So I would say El Dorado has dodged more or less the particular tornado warning just down to the south. But Farmerville, you kind of rely a little bit in the path of this particular storm that's already crossing the border right now. Again, Alex, can you read this highway down to south of El Dorado right there?
That is 167. And it goes just west of Farmerville as well. It goes south.
Yeah, so Highway 167 right there, but from El Dorado and just to the west of Farmerville. That's where this particular tornado is starting to move, right over that particular area. And I'm going to try to pull up the velocity and...
The couple, it looks broad, but it still has some, I would assume, some higher elevated rotation.
Yeah, we're starting to see more elevated rotation with that signature. I would agree with that. And the severe thunderstorm warning, of course, has been extended with that storm because it is potentially producing winds of at least 60 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some hail. Let me see if we can see anything.
Yes, it's a 1.25 inch hail as well.
Okay, so about an inch and a quarter size hail, so it's just a quarter over the severe limits.
That's $half.
Yeah, $half size hail. And looking at the potential shear, there's a little, again, that's kind of what we need with any tornadic development and strong thunderstorms. So there's a little bit of shear associated with that. And looking at the storm relative velocity, again, there's still a little bit of rotational signatures with this system, and it's kind of right there along the southern end. I remember the last particular tornado warning we were talking about earlier this month that they have allowed this one to expire, but we're still picking up on upper level rotation, but at the surface there's nothing rotating, so they've allowed that particular tornado warning to expire. Now we still have this one just up to the northeast that we're still watching in particular. I'm going to switch back to the reflectivity and show. So there's a severe thunderstorm warning. This particular storm has a history of rotation with it, and can't be surprised if as it moves into a more ripe environment, because it is very humid out there. I just came in earlier, and again, you just like walking into a wall of water out there. So there's a lot of energy these storms could potentially fire up upon as they move into northeastern sections of Louisiana. So can't rule out the possibility of anything else tornadic up until around 1 o'clock going into the overnight hours tonight. Now, we still have this one tornado warning right now. This is in northeastern sections of Union County and southern sections of Bradley County, Arkansas. Again, this is the only tornado warning we have going on right now. Within our viewing area, this is moving towards the east, taking more of an easterly track right now, whereas the one to the southwest is moving more of a southeasterly track towards Farmerville into Union Parish. But we're watching this particular storm right here. It looks like they've allowed that one confirmed tornado warning to expire in Bradley County, Arkansas. I'm going to zoom in and see if we show any more signs of this particular storm weakening at all, because again, that would be really good news if we can start to see. I'm going to switch to Little Rock velocity right here and just see what we're kind of... So I would kind of admit this particular system is weakening just a little bit. I figured this one would weaken before we had that one to the southwest, because it was showing more signs of rotation. This one's not showing as much rotation, but they're probably going to keep this up till at least 9, potentially 9:30 if they don't cancel it earlier.
I would argue that they would allow it to expire when it enters Ouachita.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, this is, I would... Potentially, yeah. So if it moves down to the southeast or more easterly into Ashley County, Arkansas towards Crossett, I would definitely say they were not planning on extending that one at all. But again, because it is showing signs of weakening, because we're not really seeing much of anything right now on the velocity. I'm going to switch back to reflectivity a little bit, and hadn't really checked how much lightning we've been seeing with this. So producing a lot of lightning with these particular storms right now, so not really ideal situations to be out if you're out on the roadways or out and about, especially in southern Arkansas right now. I'm going to zoom back and just show you kind of what we're looking at. We only have really 2 clusters of storms that we're watching right now. That one tornado warning in northeastern sections of Washita and Union County right there, and also we have the new severe thunderstorm warning that's moving just into northeastern sections of Claiborne Parish and Union Parish. Now, Washita Parish not included in anything right now, but these storms are definitely coming at a more southeasterly and easterly track into northeast Louisiana. We have another cluster of storm just to the northeast in parts of Ashley County. Again, I'm going to have to watch that particular storm as we go over the next couple of hours, because we could start to see a more spark up of more activity, especially along the Mississippi River Valley. And there's a lot going on out here in portions of central Mississippi where they did have a tornado watch that was issued for out in that area. Was something you want to add there, Alex?
The tornado warning was canceled early.
Okay, so they have allowed this particular tornado warning to expire. This is so there's good news there. So we have no more active tornado warnings right now within our viewing area. I'm going to switch to our live radar real quick and just show and take off the lightning signatures. Hang on, we might better get that off. Okay. All right, so good news is we have no more active tornado warnings right now within our viewing area, but we still have that severe thunderstorm warning right now for Union Parish and Claiborne Parish and southern sections of Union County, Arkansas. This goes to at least 9:45 p.m., 60-mile-per-hour winds, and also hail has been indicated with this system. So just stay active and be alert over the course of the next couple of hours. We have that tornado watch in effect for a decent chunk of our viewing area to at least 1 o'clock in the morning. We'll go back to regular programming, but we'll be watching these storms as they progress over the next couple of hours. And if any more active new tornado warnings, we will be cutting back on air and keeping you guys informed here at KTVE.